My name is John, and I'll be your host. Thought I'd film a little unconventional garden tour here. I haven't done one since, I believe, July, I think it was. And I think that it's probably time to do one of these. It might be a little shaky, I'm sorry in advance. I do have it on the tripod, and I'm going to try to keep it as stable as I can, opposed to me holding it. I know a couple of episodes have done like that, probably like my Camellia episode where it was really shaky, so try to save you guys that. But I'll spin you guys around here in a minute, and I'll show you what's growing, and show you how my summer's progressing, because it is still summer here. It's going to be summer here in Oregon until about October 5th or so. Usually that's when it starts cooling down enough to where it's considered fall, or considered you know, getting towards the winter season, where our nights are getting down into the 40s and stuff like that. We haven't had any of those really. I think one night it dipped down to 49, and that's about it, which really I wouldn't really consider, you know, a problem when it comes to producing, because none of my crops had any problem with it. So here we are, yeah. And this is what's growing. This is my Big Jim pepper plant, and I have had the best luck with this plant out of all my peppers, I would say. And also, not just because it was a healthy seed and start, but I believe because it's been in shade, in partial shade. It has some sun during the day, as you can see, like some of it right here has some sun on it, but throughout the day, when the sun, the morning sun starts over here, so it gets some morning, and then it tracks across, and it gets some shade from that, and then noon to 1 it gets some shade here in this apple tree, and then it gets some sun down here. Now it'll get a little bit of sun, and then in the midday usually it gets a good couple hours of sun from that direction behind this this pine tree here, and that's usually how how much sun it gets. And it has produced 3 flushes of Big Jim peppers, at least 20 or so peppers each time. It has produced marvelously. There are some peppers still on it that I think I'm just going to let go to seed, or get red, because I need some seeds from these. But look at that. That is just an amazing looking peppers there. A great pepper plant. I think I probably will try to see if I can do a hybrid of this with maybe a jalapeno or something next year, because that would be interesting. But this year I'm just letting them grow. If they cross with a sweet pepper or whatever, you know, who cares if they cross? That's the fun part of it. You know, I won't try and cross them if they look different from this year, but I might also germinate 1 or 2 plants of bought seeds, just so I have some true peppers, because I have grown them right next to this sweet pepper plant that isn't doing the best. I don't understand why this had such bad leaf growth. It's not a pH problem really, because I pH my water that I feed to them, but I don't know, that one's just, it's always looked weird compared to the other pepper plants. There are the camellias. You've seen those. Those are growing really nicely. I just got a second flush of tea leaves off from them. Didn't produce much tea because they're small and they're a 1-year-old plant, but you know, they're still really nice. This is my second Meyer lemon tree. I just got a second one, and this one's probably a 4 or 5-year-old plant, guys. Look at how big that thing is. That's the top of it, or its highest leaf, and here's the trunk. Nice fat looking trunk there. Nice 4 or 5-year-old plant. And if you're probably wondering what this is sticking out of here with the hose and the cord, this right here, guys, is a my Lazy Gardener setup. I don't know if you've heard about these, but I have bought one and I'm trying it out, and if it works well, I'm going to do a setup for this guy over here, this Meyer lemon, my first one that I did in my video. And if it works well and it seems like it's making the plant more healthy, I'm going to do a setup and show you guys how to set it up and do a little review about it, because I'm just trying to feel it out and test it right now, instead of you know, telling you about it before I know how it reacts with the plant and how the Meyer lemon or other plants do with it. And there's my gigantic beefsteak tomato that I left in. The Brandywine, which the Meyer lemon is now sitting in front of, I took out because it wasn't doing the best. It was having really bad disease problems on the leaves, and the tomatoes were always cracking because it's really humid in here. So I just took it out, and then I have beets planted right back here and a little Swiss chard over there in the back row. So those hopefully I'll get a crop of this fall. And that's it for the greenhouse here. These are all tomatoes, all coming to an end. They're determinate variety, and some of them are getting a little blight and stuff like that, but they're pretty much out of tomatoes right now anyway. The apple tree, my brother's apple tree, that he, I think it's a Brayburn, he grafted from when he was in high school, still growing nicely, and we potted it up. Probably showed you guys that before. Has a nice new flushes of growth. I've been fertilizing it a lot so that it grows a little bit here, since we took all the apples off from it because it was just not having a fun time. Second crop of carrots. I had the first crop, I got, you know, carrots about as long as the bottom of that pot, which were really nice. That pot has a lot of cocoa coir and stuff in it. I think I did a video before on that, showing you guys. Blueberries, a lot of growth this year, coming to an end, except for this one, which was malnourished and sick because it was planted in a poor soil, and I really don't think it's going to make it through the winter. I'm not going to count on it making it through the winter, honestly. And if it does and comes back better than before, I'll leave it in, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to pull that one. Go over here. This is one of my cherry tomatoes. I moved over here for more sun. It's just ending some of its flowering. It still has some cherry tomatoes on it, but it's pretty much done for the year. The gutter garden, lots of leaves, but no strawberries. These strawberries in here are supposed to be everbearing. The problem with this, guys, in this video, is that the depth here, it needs to be more depth. There needs to be at least another, you know, couple inches of depth, because it just, you have to fertilize these too frequently. You literally would need a drip system, you know, in a barrel or something, coming up and dripping these with nutrients every, almost like half hydroponic system, every, like, you know, I would say every watering to get strawberries consistently, because it's just not, they're not working. The carrots, I'm trying to grow these for seed. These are the tender sweet carrots, the big ones. And I think maybe a couple of them are getting close. But yeah, these are the thornless white raspberries. I'll try those. They're actually quite good. I recommend people growing them. They are prolific at producing raspberries. Just really, like, every day I come out here and there's raspberries to pick. And they were delicious. They're just a sweet and a very little, they're not super tart, but they have a tiny bit of tartness to them. More beets. I have a lot of beets planted because I personally like beets, both the leaves and the beet themselves, so I like pickling them. Little kiwi, or what was a little kiwi, and now is a big kiwi, and it's kind of sister plant here that seems a little bit less happy, but it's still growing. Mango tree not doing too well. I don't know why that is, but it just seems to kind of stop growing. Another pepper plant that's all funky and weird, just like its little brother over there, but this one's in full sun. I don't know why. It looks funky, it just is. Some herbs, cilantro, thyme that's been growing in the indoor garden for a long time, and I moved it out here and it's starting to flower a little bit. And then the sage, which I think is just getting ready to shut down. There's a lot of yellowing leaves here. Maybe it just needs a little bit more sun. I think I might just move it over here. There's nothing over here. There we go. The lettuce here, I have some lettuce planted, some romaine. And then these are the tomatillos. And they have gotten huge. I've been composting these regularly. The bees have just been going crazy fertilizing these. You can probably see some of them buzzing around. And they're just huge, and I think I might get a good crop before our first frost hits. But I'm not going to count my chickens before they hatch on those. And then my second crop of peas after I took them out, and I redid my trellis here. I made it more of like a house structure trellis to hold more weight. Huge sunflower that's starting to produce seed here. Lots of bees loving that sunflower. And then here's my little compost cage that I built here from some pallets that had at work that they weren't using and they're going to throw away. So I brought them home, drilled them together, made a little compost cage thing. Most of this compost is the inner part of it's pretty much done composting down. It needs to be turned here shortly. And then my little composter, I'm probably just going to use that for storage here in a little while, because this area right here that I have cleared out, that there was a blackberry, this area is going to be used for a compost tumbler that I'm getting here probably sometime this next month. And I'll do a review on that and show you how it looks and everything, because I think a lot of people get compost tumblers that they're not happy with, or that are kind of crappy, and I want to see if the one that I buy, it's a Jara form. It's supposed to be one of the best ones out there. It's about $300, I think, and it should fit right in this area from here to here pretty perfectly. So it's a dual chambered one that has thermal foam inside of it that makes it so the compost heats up consistently and finishes a batch within 2 to 3 weeks. So I'm looking forward to that. Really, it's going to be a cool, exciting thing to do this winter, and have a compost tumbler that effectively produces compost all winter long. It's going to be nice. And so now I'll bring you to the front yard and show you that. Okay? It wasn't a minute for you, but it was a minute for me. So here's the petunias, looking good. Snapdragons, and I got a second crop of chamomile coming on from the other chamomile seeds after they quit going on me. Fuchsia looking a little wilted. And over here, the plum tree. I did a little pruning on it. It had some really tall branches there that these probably need to come down a little bit because they're too, straight up spear-like. They need to be chopped down, and more branches need to be shot out of them and promote some more stemming growth. I got a good crop of plums on here. These are sweet plums, or Italian plums, whichever one you call them. And this is a 3-way plum, so this side over here that I cut that little piece off of, this is a Santa Rosa plum. And then over on this side here, which just finished producing its plums, I believe is what is it? I forgot. Oh, sugar plum. Sugar plum, and these are the Italian plums on this side. So we have the sugar, the Italian, and the Santa Rosa. And down here, we got the watermelons. I already picked one watermelon that was way down there, and it was siphoning the life out of every single watermelon on this plant. I have no idea why. These two I've left. One right there that you probably can barely see. I've left and let go. peppers coming to an end. No longer really putting out much anymore. Other melons, they're kind of coming to an end. Some of them got powdery mildew. More beets, because I like beets. Also more beets and some spinach as well. And then tomatoes that I probably got, I think 5 flushes of tomatoes off of them. Maybe I might get more. So more, these are the pepperoncinis that are up front. You can see how many peppers are on these damn things. They're so prolific that this is just why I grew way too many plants of these this year. I have basically gotten to the point where I have not been able to keep up with picking these because they're so prolific. I just keep dumping on the compost tea as much as I can, letting them grow and go to seed, and I'm gonna pick the seeds off, and maybe if anybody wants them, give them away, because I just don't. I already have like 4 or 5 freezer bags full of these, and it's just, they're insane. Probably would only grow 1 or 2 plants next year because they're just that prolific. And kale going to seed, getting close to being harvested. Gonna have a lot of kale seed. There's some here that do need to. A lot of kale seed. Oh, some what were these called? I forget what variety of lettuce this was called. I think it was the gourmet lettuce. Yeah, it was the gourmet lettuce, and I let that go to seed. I harvested a bunch of it off from there. There's of course a bunch more because they produce seed like mad. The squash and zucchini and all that, there's still some on there that I need to pick, and there's still some that are producing, but it got hit by powdery mildew in a rainstorm we had a couple days ago pretty bad. I sprayed it and some of it bounced back, but they both took it pretty hard when it comes to that. And finally, last but not least, that is another big gym pepper that has not done well out here, and I don't know why. It's probably just too sunny, and I don't know why it always had this. I think it was just a mutated plant. It just had this deformed leaf structure the entire time it's had it. Another 2 pepperoncini plants. Too much pepperoncinis. These are more beets, and the little finger carrots in that bed. Another pepper that's not done producing. It's still producing quite well. Oops, bumped the camera. Still has some peppers on it, and I'm letting ripen up. And then another pepperoncini. I just planted way too many. I'm at a loss for words. Oh, and there's some Swiss chard here in the back. Some rainbow Swiss chard. Got the colorful purple. Got some yellow. Some red right here that's growing. Kind of another different color, so it'll make a nice colorful salad. But that's about it. Let me turn you around here. That's about it, guys, for that. I haven't really got much more growing right now. I'm waiting to do those reviews for you and that other compost tumbler review. So look forward to that. Been working a lot, haven't had too much free time, and then as soon as I do have a little bit of free time, I'll be going to school again. So I'll try to keep up with the videos as much as possible. I know some of you enjoy watching them, and I thank you for that. Please like, comment, subscribe, and tell your friends about me and about my garden and the things I share with you guys. Alright, thanks for watching, everybody.